California. All right, we're
That's
live.
right. Good old gospel sing along before you guys got here.
I nailed it.
Welcome to the Dream Show live on a Thursday. My clock says 11:24 a.m. We're
I'm.
just
We're
here.
in the same time zone.
No, we're not.
We're not.
No, you're now Alabama allegedly.
Oh,
You're Central. Y- Yeah, Alabama's an hour behind Georgia.
I'm not. I'm not in Alabama. I'm somewhere else.
My
That's
brother
what
in
I said.
Christ. I don't know where you are, but
I'm wandering. We know
okay.
this. It's in the
I
name.
thought you were. I thought you were
I'm the wandering
in the
grappler.
motherland. You know.
God's
I'm not.
country.
I don't know what y'all doing. Well, you're in another subtropical
Body of
location
water. It's cold,
that
man. You got me
there's
out of the
trees in
Caribbean.
this one. Yeah, as I say, there should be. It feels like there could be some snow here, and I wouldn't be upset by it. Um, Maybe you'd be a little too cold there. I don't know how the Wanderer will do after such a
My
tropical season.
my blood has thinned, and I've been to so many different uh
Eating all that spicy food.
atmosphere and like all the different places that I've been have been so starkly different. It was like tropical, desert, mountain, woods. I was like, my sinuses did not know
Woods.
what to do for a little way there. The woods.
Woods.
I've had to try to explain a few times in Mexico when people ask like where I'm from, and I go, I'm from the country, and they're like, huh? And I'm
I'm
like,
from the country.
I'm from like out away from the city. Like describing the sticks or out in nothingness is difficult.
Yeah, how do you
So
explain nothing? Like those
yeah, I was like
it's the forest, I don't know.
BFE, the woods.
Maybe people understand forest better in
Well,
other
I'm
places.
like where I'm at. A lot of times I'm just like
What's the Spanish word for
It's
forest?
like the jungle, but not. Are you Google?
So I've had this thought too. Like this. No, I didn't get it yet. Did you send that? And my other ones were dirty. I was gonna put on the other ones, but they're in the washing machine right now, Wallow. But it's the King Griffey Jr. shirt.
Yeah. So these Kentucky Holler shirts. This is a real thing. I saw this on the internet.
Yeah, baby. It's a real
Okay.
obvious. Yeah, we're doing it.
I mean, it
The people of
exists.
Kentucky are behind this movement 100%. We've gotten some support from actual
Actual
high
Kentuckians.
level grappler Kentuckians. Yes, the Hillbilly Hammer, uh, Jacob Couch was interested. Those guys are like that. And there was someone else I can't remember off the top of my head that's commenting in there on this thing. So like we knew we had something. It's just a matter of execution. Wallow he is the excellence of execution, if you will. So
I've seen is your poster in your like possession? Do you have
funny you should ask. I have a
you got to get it
special
in
item
shot.
here.
Get it in shot. Go this
I'm
way.
trying.
Ooh, look at that. Look at that. That's sharp.
It's bigger than my head.
Which is rather large.
I guess that was the joke. But yeah, I have one of these available
Okay.
that Wallow made. It was a special thing, and I have if you've seen the entire set that Wallow's made for the early what season was that? 5. I have to
Okay.
get the link for that stuff. But there's 16 posters total.
Yeah.
They're these metal posters like this, and the one for me would come personally, like
Do they get a hug?
inscribed or whatever. Of course, they can get a hug.
Okay.
That's standard. Just
That's standard
yeah,
issue with
that's just like a standard, SOP. I guess is what I've learned. Is what people call stuff like that. Uh, I don't know if that's
But
in everybody's SOPs, but that's just
so
one of
are the
mine.
rest he is does he have the rest of those up for sale? Is that what's
They're all.
going
It's going
on,
to be one
Wallow?
set, and it was a thing that we were supposed to do before, like right there at the end of the season, but then like we had to do life stuff, and while I really got into it and made it up, we figured out the right, move to try to do here. It was a way to make up some of the gap in funding for the season for me. Like I said, once we got out there, we knew it ended up being a little bit more daunting than expected to get through it financially a little bit. So we tried to do some things to get creative and do a little fundraising on the backside. So the posters, we'll have to get the number on the set here again. 15 or 16 of these posters, and one I'll, like I said, personalize for you guys and sign whoever wants it, for whatever the offer is that somebody wants to throw in out here. A fair price, we'll take it. We're,
I mean, I was fixing to suggest that I envision there being like a QVC like auction of these things featuring
you want us to go
way
live?
way.
You just try to
I mean,
like the draft.
we could start taking bids right here on your poster that's right
I'm out.
there.
We didn't have it
You could just
set,
start selling it.
like that's I could, and I am technically. If you're watching right now and you got a strong offer, you throw it at me. I'm interested. See, that's only like half my face. What'd you do?
I
There's
don't
Terry
know.
Funk and
I don't love
Skeletor.
how it cuts.
Hey,
I don't
there
love
I am
that cut.
again. That was a good shot of Terry Funk and Skeletor, though. They're doing it. So yeah, I try to change my background a little bit here. So if it's weird, sorry, not really, but
Don't be
it
sorry
is
for
what it
art.
is. Yeah, it is what it is. We're trying to learn, and I've been noticing on things too. People are saying like, at least on the trick talk, it's fair. The TikTok side of things, that people are looking more for like uncurated kind of content a lot more, where it's not like perfectly lit and having all that stuff. Maybe there is background noise or things like that, just because
Well, it's
it's
interesting if you look at what people's behavior are and what they pay attention to is that like yes, but it usually the things that really captivate and hold on to an audience or to people is something that has elements of what you just said. Like it has good sound, but it's like terrible picture quality. But I can hear perfectly what's going on. So the rest of my brain's sitting there trying to make up like what is in the image. If both are bad, well, I can't do anything with that. My brain can't do it. You got to give the brain something. If your goal is to create engaging and people want things that feel real. They don't want things that feel
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they want
yeah.
it to be like somebody. That's all. It's like you want it to be almost like a FaceTime with your friends,
Mhm.
like you're talking on, like, so you're weird, like holding it and putting the thing down or whatever, and making it do, like, oh hey, boom, you just put your phone down to talk to them while you're making dinner or whatever it is at a weird
Right.
angle, and you're just kind of walking away sometimes, then coming back and talking to it for whatever amount of time in clips, or if you're good at those.
And then the ones that capitalize on that, like if you look back through the like especially like YouTube history of the people that took off were the people that like did all that, but then they were shooting it on a really nice camera or they were framing every single shot perfectly, but then just playing within the frame and doing all that. Like that's multiple different people that have copied
Hmm.
each other now that do those type of styles that are like the
It's a thing.
vlog films. But like, yeah,
uh, Bitcoin John, I'm in the South, man. God's country.
that is
Georgia, where
that
Ray
is
Charles sang a beautiful song about.
well, in your jujitsu realms, I was trying to figure out how to pivot off of that into
Look,
jujitsu,
you just Ray
and I
Charles.
just tried to ride that wave off of Ray Charles. But um,
He's a savant.
we had, I mean, I haven't talked to you in 2 weeks, three
Only through like
weeks.
text and things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in
How
my
true.
jujitsu world, there was the show. Have we haven't done a show since
The Johnny
the
Hernandez Invitational.
yes sir, which went off well. It went
Good.
off very interesting with playing in the PGF rule set. The there's never been a problem down there since we started doing tournaments in that rule set on the like action as far as people understanding the goal. Exactly what I thought was going to happen in that bracket happened. Everybody was trying to gun for each other's legs because everybody was a bunch of leg lock specialists, and there was a lot of canceling out type of thing. And so that was a very interesting thing. And then, like, once we started to apply the shot clock, for one, we were in a remote location off in the mountains in Monterey. And so there was no internet. We had 3 separate people that were on the team that were not able to show up as of like 10 minutes before we started. And so we put together our team and we were doing this. And when we started implementing the shot clock, everybody, including the competitors, it's an interesting conversation that happens on what constitutes action. What are we calling action? And a lot of people, and I've noticed this is if you go through any other promotion, any other thing, in the fight sports world, we consider busyness
Mm,
action. And it's
yeah.
like, well, that may not, especially if you have a very, very, very limited scope of things that you can do and a very limited scope of time that you can do them in. Well, damn, that makes the microscope really easy to look and go, oh, he's just pitter pattering there trying to figure out the next step. And it's like, oh, that might be the smart move, but we're trying to play the action and play at the very edge of what your capabilities are to win the game inside the rule set of just getting submissions.
Yeah, and I think a lot of this is is still and maybe I don't know, is kicking the horse is still alive, so it's not beating a dead horse, I guess.
Yeah.
But the 10-point must and the
Okay.
MMA scoring of this generation's youth, where it was, kill the clock, win the round, do the last thing you can do to
Be on
to,
top.
to secure the victory with the minimal amount of risk and damage, which is fair. As a dude who took a lot of damage over the course of winning and losing some fights, it's like, yeah, I wish I would have took less now and been a little bit more strategery inclined in some of those fights and stuff
But
like
that
that.
wasn't the
But
culture of the sport that you were in at the time. The entire sport was different in that
it
way. It
was
was much
it was
more.
so when I got in, it was definitely like the first. I don't. We definitely weren't first wave. We were more second, third, maybe even wave. Second wave, maybe. Uh, it was after the Ultimate Fighter when I left. I don't know how far after that overall it was. I don't know the exact time frame of that, but it wasn't too far. Like after that, from when and so I've fought in basically horse barns and airplane hangars and whatever, and cornered people and worse,
Oh, for sure.
kinds of
For
scenarios and
sure.
stuff like that.
Getting your hand wrapped
To
in a broom closet.
Yeah, and to where there's a guy coming out of the crowd who may have been drinking versus this guy who everybody thinks is a world beater
Yeah.
and never fights anybody tough, but the record that he's built on doing that makes him seem invincible to people, but he's just never been tested and things like that. So now it's a lot harder to have that because it's just so much more depth overall in the rules and the sanctioning of pretty much everything, making the
And
legality side
overall,
of
I
it.
mean, the training caught up.
Well,
And
yeah,
there's
it
a
it
lot
mo
more likelihood that
homogenized
that
a lot.
dude, like that dude, I don't know. It's been, I don't know. It had been too long. I'm trying to think the last like amateur show I went to that wasn't like, because what you're talking about
NBA,
still
NBA
exists.
fault for me.
Okay. Okay. So what does that difference look like to you as far as like, 2025 MMA scene versus
Okay, so for me,
2006?
for us, my guy that did his first amateur fight is a purple belt
Yeah.
that's been training for a very long time and competed in lots and lots and lots of jiu-jitsu matches and things and had that bit of experience.
He had the baseline.
Yeah, and Jay's already like a really great athlete for his size and different things like that. he's definitely intuitive in a lot of ways, and if he sees something, he can kind of pick it up with
Mm-hmm.
practice more
Mm-hmm.
than like he needs to be nailed down over the very very specific details. A lot of
Yeah.
times, like he doesn't always, you know what I mean, he doesn't always need that.
Yeah.
Like some people would need more of that. Uh, so I had to let like sit back and let him go get that kind of stuff, because he can, and I couldn't. So I can't be like, don't do that because it would be me projecting like what I couldn't do onto him because he can do it, more
Mm-hmm.
often. So trying to, get that stuff in there, but waited for a long time, and so he had a lot of experience. And then the guy that he was fighting apparently had, some boxing and stand up experience to a degree we didn't know. Not a lot, obviously, to be doing the first kind of fight like this or whatever, but you never know with a guy who's never fought, what the deal is, too, also. So there was no record for him anywhere. So I didn't really have that. But when I was in the back, um, I like to walk around and look if there's an open area, and I'll just walk around and look. And saw the dude warming up, and he was just like scrambling, like defending takedowns like crazy, and scrambling and swinging like from the hip, and just like the pads were popping, and not because there was just somebody making extra noises, because the dude was getting up and chucking. And I was like,
He
oh
meant
shoot,
meaning
you
business
know
every time he swung. Yeah.
yeah, 'cause back in the day, that would be an easy killing
Yeah.
for a purple belt coming into a first fight with a guy who was a boxer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he would have
Yeah.
no wrestling or takedown stuff probably at all. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He was just a boxer. And so this guy knew how to defensively wrestle and fight very well. It seemed like
Yeah.
he had prepared for this fight at least, in that way. And so it was tough. Jay, got knocked out, knocked down one time
Yeah.
pretty hard, and then he really went from trying to be a striker to to a wrestler grappler more, and like he really just suplexed his way to victory. Just
Yeah, yeah.
on
He just that was the clip he just shared, isn't it? He shared it of like
very
when
recently, yeah,
yeah, when you forget how to wrestle for the first like two
yeah,
minutes or whatever,
yeah.
and then all of a
Mhm.
sudden you remember.
And I'm just like in the background or whatever. It's like I get away from even any technical like takedowns. I'm just like, Jay, you got to pick him up and then put him down. That's just get your hands on him and put him down. You can't just sit here and try to be technical and whatever. He's in, now it's a fight, you know.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah,
like, get him down. And then about the third or fourth good takedown he got on the guy was just a little tired too, obviously from fighting his way back up and getting ragdolled around by this other little guy.
yeah,
And he threw a lot of hard punch. I mean, he fought hard. Uh, Finally, he turned and gave his back on purpose, but just with the tiredness, he didn't have a good get up this time. And Jay got
yeah.
the back, and I was just flatten him out, belly down, squeeze him out. Not really trying to same stuff we talk about a lot. So it's a lot.
You know,
To me, I feel like it's a lot more technical
I feel
overall
like that
as a
that
day one guy.
position. I feel like that position of the belly down, flattened out position is a very like overlooked like back position, control position in jujitsu, in sport jujitsu. Is that like we're so like chasing them around and like rolling around and stuff like that that I rarely see that to be their instinct, that when they get their hips both facing to the ground, they should never turn again type of like thought process.
Yeah, and to play, I guess, devil's advocate with you here because I
Okay.
agree. I agree.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Overall with that, what I would say that I've seen, I guess, is one, some guys don't like having their feet
Trapped.
in there like that with a guy under
Yeah,
them. They have some sort
yeah,
of issue with their
yeah,
feet and
yeah,
ankles and
yeah,
things,
yeah.
and it's just not good for them. Is the thing I've seen or a
When they
lot of
go
people
right
say.
there, I cross my feet under their crotch, like as they roll over and whatnot. If you can cross your feet and like curl your heels or whatever, then they can't like they then you're what you're talking. I agree. Like I my knees aren't
I
the
think
greatest. Like
if done correctly, yes, but I think it's in
yeah,
that moment if somebody's
that
breaking
moment in
down,
that
like
switch
in
and
that,
they're
yeah, their foot gets stuck
exploding and
in and they
yeah,
get
yeah, yeah,
twisted
yeah,
at one
yeah.
time, and now they're like, "F that, it's not worth
Well, Brandon has
trying."
some sort of BS like heel hook thing that he does if you try to do that in mount. So I don't know if that's also like something that could be on purpose. Have you ever
I don't
seen him do that? He's never done it to me, but and if he ever sees this clip, he'll probably try to do it to me. But have you ever seen him do that? Like when the guys in mount, if they cross their feet under his hips, he can like trap one of the feet and then basically he'll hook you because you're trying to
Oh,
keep your leg
okay.
up underneath
Because
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I could see
You
that.
can pull your leg out, but because you're in mount, you're like, I'm gonna stay
The
here, and
weight's
then all
on
of a
your
sudden
crossed
you're like,
ankles.
ow.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. That's why you don't cross. Yeah, I wouldn't. That's why I wouldn't cross my feet under someone either. In that way, you
In
know.
that way, in mount, yeah.
Yeah, if yep, you want to open it if you have to. So there's a lot of things that you can do that you wouldn't do, I guess.
Split.
And I don't know what we were talking about before.
Jay's match. You try to
Oh,
figure out how
flattening
we
people out. Flattening people
yeah,
out. The
flatten
second
people out
point
on the
on
ground.
flattening
Okay,
people
yeah,
out
yeah, yeah.
is what it seems like now is that in sport jujitsu, especially where there's no striking, people
Hard to
can
get them to
kind of
open
eat
this
it.
up.
Yeah, they'll
Yeah,
just do the little like thing there, and they'll shell up, and it really wastes a lot of your time and energy to kind of hold them
try to
there,
pry that open. Yeah,
especially in a 6 minute match. It's not as
yeah.
like much time to make it work
Back to where that could
as
be
long.
a
It's
stalling, but
yeah.
advantageous. Yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
you have
You're
a
not
longer
doing
time,
anything with what you're
yeah. If I
doing.
could
Yeah,
hit you, then that place is the most dominant place,
worst. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
pretty
I mean,
much.
I
Like
guess. I
especially if
mean, I
there's the
did
back
this
of the head strike, that's legal.
right, and I did this, and like when you go to cross like that in MMA, and somebody can trap your hands, like I've been trapped where they pull both hands across your chest like that, and then now you're stuck here, just getting dinged on
That's
both
definitely like
sides.
self defense too, right there. If you
Yeah,
could trap their
yeah,
hands a certain way like that, they can't use them. They can't reach for
right.
stuff, and if they do, you can really like
You
tell
can
what they're,
see
a
it
lot
because it's
more.
right
Yeah,
there. Yeah, yeah. That's like the gift wrap. I was talking about that like a week ago of like how you
yeah,
can get
double
that
gift
gift
wrap.
wrap and then put
Yeah,
a double gift wrap and then pin them down. And then now
yep.
like they can't do anything. I don't care how like you're gonna have to be pretty big and strong to like rectify that situation.
I taught my dude yesterday. What's today? Thursday. Yeah,
Yeah.
yesterday at his private lesson, we went over some of that same kind of ideas from Mount
Mm.
of how to like ride that weight and get to the back and kind of switch into that modified S mount ish to get towards that back take more
Yeah.
or whatever, and then working gift wraps. Just that whole kind of system right there to where, there's a chair, all the stuff, chair sits are there if they do certain things, if they do this, it's that, if they,
It's
he's
been really
he's getting
dependent
good enough now to understand that stuff.
on that like how high you can get that knee up and like get that knee to it which jujitsu is
Duh.
it that knee to elbow connection. Like if you can create that over their shoulder, like it creates so much more of a problem with that like S what you're talking about the S mount.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's a way to start for me, letting them just kind of roll over on their own under you, and you want to be on your side to a degree because it's less like pressure,
Well, and being
but
flat
also
up underneath somebody like you is terrible. But if you
as it
make
should
it too terrible, I can't roll over.
right.
And so
And
then
so
I don't
that's
give you that. Yeah, there's the
yep.
moderation
I
of
got to make it
terrible.
terrible enough that you want to get away, and then allow you a way out, my child.
Because there's nothing
Here,
worse than there's
there's light on
nothing
this
worse than
side,
somebody like you just going, like the wet
my
blanket.
son. There's light over here. Turn to your right. There. Now you can breathe.
Uh, I could see it in your head that you've been trying to find the moment to do that the entire time, and like you're like, this is the moment.
Yeah. I'm gonna crank it.
Mom
Listen, it's
spaghetti.
just gonna get worse from here. I told those guys whatever, Wallow and Miggy. We didn't even produce the show. He just started sending me clips of stuff, and he's like, "I don't know if you want to put this out or not." And I was like, "I don't care."
He's like, we'll do it
He's
live.
like, "I don't want it to seem like I'm making fun of you." And I was like, "I mean, that would be the whole point of the whole thing, I guess. Even for me, But I guess there's a level of hazing I want to like avoid here, or you know.
Not subject yourself to.
So yeah, I think putting out the one song was good.
You'll just keep perfecting. Like I said, you're the
I'd say it's just
T-Pain
reps.
of
It's just
jujitsu,
reps.
right?
I come out there for whatever the next season is. Is that 9?
Yeah, this
Hit the
season
show with
though.
some auto tune. Yeah.
Well, I mean, all right, I'll tell you Monday I was at Keelan's and we were working on the documentary from last season that's coming out soon. And
Allegedly.
it's coming out. We've got a due date. Um eh, but we were just talking about it that me and him particularly have heard your voice so many times that like he said it when we were like watching a clip or something. He was like, "Man, he's like Steven is the voice of PGF." It's like I can't hear anybody else do it because I've heard it so many times now that it's the reps.
Yeah, that's weird, I guess, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
Like I don't know, cause to be honest, I don't watch it all back. I rarely even watch back day to day stuff too much, unless there's something I know I really like flubbed and I want to like get it, or like last season TJ gave me some feedback that I went back and watched some stuff to kind of see. But typically, I don't go back and try to. We did that a lot in the beginning, but then I just felt like it gave me a weird anxiety a lot of times to try to do it again the different way the next day. But now it's just like whatever. I think I got for the most part it,
yeah,
unless something happened, and then I'll go back and kind of rewatch it all. But I guess there's a certain pacing and like cadence or whatever in a rhythm or whatever that it has developed just naturally or and through the process of it all, because nobody ever told me what to do or how to do it or what to say much. There's times I'll ask if you want something, or whenever things are happening, or if I feel like something's being underplayed, I'll play it up, you know. But I don't know. That's interesting. I wonder what that's like for other people. Like I don't know.
yeah. I mean, we've
Like
watched
that's like the Bruce
thousands of
Buffer thing,
hours
or whatever. Like for the UFC, like that is like at first it was weird to hear other people doing or just. But now there's other people, so I don't know. That's it. It's interesting, but it definitely is a thing people have said a lot.
for sure.
Like this, it's even right here. It says what Wello said. It's even like it's on the poster. So that makes it super official if it's on a poster, a metal poster too. So you feel me?
I
And listen,
mean,
if
it's
anybody's on
ingrained in
here right
history now.
now and you were on here last time I went live when Isaac wasn't on here, and I was trying to show you guys me playing MLB the Show, and I sucked really, really bad, and I was getting angry. There's a reason for that, and it was because the card I was using was only up to a certain frame per second, and the game runs at a faster double the speed of what that card was, and so the timing was half of what I had been used to playing. I was getting half the frames I had been getting from 120 to 60. And I had, dude, I was getting so mad. Wallow was there for sure. I even texted him like, whatever. I was like, I'm so mad. I want to like break stuff, but I'm live, and I don't know how to act.
I mean, you could have gone. That was your viral moment. The universe tried to set it up for you.
There's got to be something on there, probably. Um, but God, so that's why I haven't done that again, because I got to get one of those like El Gato
That's
things or
faster.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it'll take the whatever, so I can do it again
That's
because it's
like when
fun.
people are in the comments and they go, "The frame rate is blah, 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 blah." It's like, do
Yeah.
you know how many things I got plugged in back here?
Yeah, I didn't even know what that stuff meant at first. Somebody was just like, "Get a capture card or whatever," and I was like, "Cool deal." But then it's like, "Oh no, baseball is fast." It's one of the hardest games in that way,
To
I
like
guess.
simulate.
Well, just it's a hard game to play. Yeah, the thing moves a little bit like a shooter game in a way. The, the
Mhm.
the way that stuff's moving, and you got to hit it like hit a moving target and stuff. So it's it's one of the most difficult games, people say, I guess. I just like baseball, and one of my friends was playing it.
I
No,
don't.
I don't care. That's what I'm saying.
Like I
I'm
just
not.
play the
I'm not even.
most difficult
It's
game.
difficult to me. So it's like, yeah,
Oh,
I
you play
agree. It's
chess?
facts.
I play 4D chess.
Yes, yes. Upside down,
I play I play sphere checkers. It's a checkers board on a ball.
man. There's this cool game that's like magnetic chess or something like that. I don't know what the name of it is or whatever, but it's on a board and you got to move stuff or put them down, and they you can't let the pieces like connect to each other. That's cool. I don't know. I shouldn't even have brought that up. That was the
Hmm.
ADHD. My bad.
I was I was trying to figure out the magnetic part, but I get what you're saying.
It's
That's
I don't know. It's a board game where you got to move your pieces, but they can't get too close because then they'll stick to each other, and then you got to take
so
them
then
off.
it's like chess with like a layer of
Yeah,
like
I
you
don't
have
know.
to leave
Chess
extra
sucks anyway.
space
It's
or
not even a good game.
I got quoted for your quote the other day.
Uh
I
oh.
didn't even correct him on it.
What happened?
Somebody posted about the I'm teaching a seminar next week and they posted and they said, as Isaac likes to say,
There you
checkers
go.
not chess. And I was like, well, it's in the ethos.
That's how it goes. Mama, we made it.
You say it enough.
Listen, at just and I still believe that to a degree, and I'm sure there's people that have that other strategy, and it's true as well. But what I just don't try to overcomplicate things too much anymore. So
Well, I feel like that when I explain it and when I think about the philosophy that like checkers not chess is that chess gives you leeway for retreat for different directions and whatnot. Well, if your goal is, and back when you were like preaching that heavy, like when you started talking about it, we were paying a lot of attention to like the the competition scene and like guys that are trying to be competitive or like in MMA or a real life situation. Well, if I'm in that type of a situation and it's a world championship or it's a whatever, well backwards ain't no option. And so like that's what you're saying is that like all of my moves have to be coordinated to always be trying to move me into the one goal, and that's to go get my dude kinged. And that's
mm,
the submission. And so like you're trying to move. Now, if I've done all that already, and if we're playing checkers, if I've done all those things to get to that point, well now I've gotten kinged, which means now I can move backwards.
mhm.
And so if I've dominated all the way to the point that now I can do whatever I want, well then that's checkers, not chess. Whereas
Yeah,
chess is I'm trying to trick you into letting me do my thing and put my moves and then put you in dilemmas and then I get you down to where you only have two options. That's the chess approach. And
yeah.
this is my philosophy on breaking down like your philosophy. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I don't think it's wrong or right or whatever either. I think it's just like I said, no, it's good. I'm trying to think of the
I
way
got
that
I
like I had a
got you.
thing that I was thinking before you asked that question. Oh, I think a good way to think about it is, and I was talking with one of my guys about this, is like a little bit more of what people call camping
Yeah.
these days, like getting to a
Okay.
place and being able to kind of stay and not give away what you've got, right? And then just, a little forward, a little forward, a little forward, and then don't give up the back row. So
That's funny.
that's
And like camping, and then like that's what everybody shits on in the gaming community is like, oh, you're camping. Well, it's like, well, if I was in a war situation and like things are going crazy, like I wouldn't be doing what homie's doing up here, running up to the. That's the real life answer.
mhm.
I'd be hiding in a bush, picking you off as you go by. Like that's the real life of what I would do. I wouldn't be being like, front lines, like
Yeah. I
so.
mean, I mean, there's some
That's
people that would,
funny.
I guess, but yeah,
I
that's the
I
way I.
just connected that. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. That's just how I think about it from my perspective also. And then from those places, there's only a couple of options in each place. You know what I mean? And maybe there's a horizontal, diagonal move or whatever, not really like lateral necessarily, but there's moves that you could make to get out of the way or set things up or whatever. But it's more about being in the right place and thinking, there's the frames. There's certain things you can't let them have. There's certain spots you can't let them get to. And then once they get to certain spots, you just got to kind of give that up and then look to fight back from wherever you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if somebody gets me down and like mounts me, then I've got to fight back from there, which is fine, and that can just take a little bit of time to get from where I am to where I want to go back to. But maybe that's just dogfight.
Oh, okay.
There's only like one or two moves to dogfight from almost everywhere. and then from there it's like a superhighway
Okay.
because everything's there, right?
When you're in dogfight?
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I mean,
what
that's
can't you get to from there within a reasonable step or two? You
you
know what
got
I'm
at least
saying? To a
you got at
degree.
least two moves. Like to everything you got at least two moves cuz like the back is two moves. Your butterfly guard's like one move.
What's a move, right? That's what I say. Is like I guess that's when you're gonna start
I'm just
getting
talking about like
granular. Yeah,
where
yeah.
you
That's
would
the
break
like.
segments of like
But you're right
what
there.
body movements. I have to move my leg to here. I have to swing my leg up there, or I have to put my foot here. Like that's a move, right?
What if they push you over?
In dogfight, and they like knock me over. Well, then there's the like roll through thingy. But that's like a series of moves that happen at once.
But they did that.
Yes.
So what's the move?
That's why I called it that roll through thingy.
But that's like
But you
you
knew
know what
what
I
I
mean.
was talking
It's,
about.
no, but like it's
Yeah, yeah.
like that's one of those weird little thought
Actually, I think
experiments.
that
Like,
does have a name in one of the systems.
but no, it is. There's different like Plan B or whatever,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
stuff like that. Is all. That's what I mean. There's things you can do when someone does that.
Reacts differently. Yeah,
But that's what I'm saying. Is like, but what is the move? Like, did did you do all that to do Plan B?
maybe.
Seems like a lot.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, what is the move then? Like, are you like, is it the position getting to a place to do
I mean, I
things
would
or
imagine
having
that, like,
things
yeah, that
happen?
getting
Where
to
are
the
you
position to
somewhere where
do the
things
thing
happen
because they need to
and you're
get like.
good
I mean,
there?
it's like the leg game. Like when you talk about these guys with the leg game, a lot of it is based off of a reaction, and that's they just run through a pattern until they get the reaction, and then they do a
That's
series of
yeah,
events.
that's basically everything, right? You know, so you set up certain
Yeah.
patterns.
I guess it's more apparent to me in the leg game, I guess. Is because you can see it. You can see them trying to set it up because like even like leg lockers and like I was talking about this last week where you had like a group of like elite leg lockers that are all trying to leg lock each other, it becomes kind of comical where you can see them trying to set it up. And like when you can see the setup for the setup, you're like, "Hey man, let's try a different game. Like play a whole different side of the there."
It's just the Kimura trap.
Yeah,
They figured out the Kimura trap, and they think, "Oh wow, this is this thing," and it's like, no, it's literally just the same thing that we were doing with the Kimura trap, and now you've taken it down to the legs.
well, yeah, because you look down and was like, well, his leg's available while he does this, and they grab their leg and they're like, ah, which will be
It's
true
the
until
same
everybody
mechanics, though, is what I'm saying.
ah. Wait, well, and then it'll just be true again when people stop exposing their leg and trying to stop the leg lock. Well, then now you got the Kimura.
It's
It's
just
all one
inside,
big
outside
circle.
stuff like that. You know, maybe you're getting a little bit in this stuff right there, but there's wrist locks there, right? That's more of, I guess, what people were talking about with heel hook plays or things like that. Then there's the knees, which are
Right,
the elbow
right.
breaks that happen when you get the spiral type or hyperextension kind of plays, and then Z locks or whatever for the
Those are
hips would be
yeah.
going where you're going into the shoulder, which is the
Mhm.
Kimura Americana thing. If you let it get too far,
It's the
overly,
same shape.
rotate. Yeah,
It's
it's
the
the same thing.
like you put it into like a
There's a
90
circle
degree
with two hinge joints.
and if I take a hinge and put it in 90 degrees and then twist it, it can't remain
It's
a
a good
hinge.
leverage. It's like a
Yeah.
crank, right? Like
Yeah.
an old,
Well, I mean, that's why they're designed that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a mechanical.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Nobody's really truly double jointed it. I don't think either. I just spin it twice. I don't
Yeah,
know.
just keep
Maybe
going.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But if they're not moving with their upper body and I can spin one of their extremities, something's gonna give.
I think there's a super rare one, but they just straight up don't have certain ligaments. Like there are people that can do like with their shoulders and their like those things that they can, but it is coming dislocated. They just don't have. They lack the thing in the middle to stop it. I don't know. I'm not a
And
surgeon.
then what happens if you spin it again?
Agreed. If we just keep on going,
You know what I'm saying? Like
eventually,
I'm
that chicken leg eventually.
genuinely, because like we talked about this before too, or whatever. But like there was that one or two with Jeremiah Vance, and then Boogie got that one guy, and then like a Suliev stretch kind of play or whatever too, where guys are doing stuff like that. Is like people are pretty flexible and they're whatever jointed and stuff, and then somebody just just winds you up tighter. Now
Yeah,
you're
it
just
just
even more
keeps
like
going. Yeah,
stuck. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah,
a tough guy, a good guy, like tough technically is gonna just keep going. And
yeah,
that's the thing is like you've been fine because maybe people were nice in a way or just didn't think to go harder or
yeah.
not harder like rob, but just like gonna
With the
gonna
intent
do
to
it.
injure you, like that's
Well, just
the
like I'm gonna win, whichever way it is. And like if you're not gonna tap, then it's not working. I gotta go harder and put more rotation into it or more extension into it or whatever it is,
well, and that's
more
how I think we're
compression.
getting to is more
And
people are playing in that realm. More people are playing in the realm of like, well, then just finish the move. Does that make sense? Like they're not going to the control point and going. I mean, it's like these Woj and like Aoki locks and stuff that all the kids are hitting. Like they're hitting that with the full intent that like
oh yeah, it's no longer the gentleman's game.
no, no.
Yeah,
You look out for yourself, protect yourself at all times is the game now.
it's
It,
that's at least the mindset a lot of the people are trying to bring into it, but they don't want to fight though.
yeah, yeah, I agree. But
So
because I think I don't know. Do you think the leg locks would have developed this far if we had never? Which I guess that's a crazy statement, but like when it became less violent, that's when the leg locks started to like prevail.
they became more popular and they've become more impactful as a whole. Yes, but they existed
Do
and
you
have
think that
been.
goes away if the game ever like catches like if MMA ever like catches back up or if it ever in that way? Does that make sense? Do you think it retracts at all from what it's gained? Because now you have way more leg lockers because there's more people practicing leg locks. But would all those people still go after the leg locks? Does my question make sense?
Yeah, and I think we've seen some of that already, kind of with the maybe Ryan Hall and different things like that too. To where if it's MMA
Yeah.
based or whatever, too, the rules don't really like give you that. Now, if we're talking again, if we're efficacy as a whole in a fight scenario, there's lots of opportunity to get something going like that. You know, now is it the best strategy? I would say no, but
Yeah.
it is a strategy that will work from certain positions that you find yourself in. It would be maybe the best strategy in certain situations and positions. But from what I know, for the most part, it's probably not the best in a lot of fight scenarios,
I
except
like
for sporting fights. And even in most of those, it starts to
it's
wear
a
thin after
dangerous.
people know.
Yeah. Well, and like to me when I think about leg locks, they are like the gun in your boot type of thing of oh no, I'm upside down underneath this guy before he starts raining punches down, before he does something, I'm gonna put him on his butt. I got him on his butt. I'm gonna break his ankle real quick. As I do that, I'm still in like a ashi or like a backside 50-50 where I get where I don't feel like that it's the greatest strategy is when we get into these things where like both of our legs are tied in knots and just because I happen to be on the outside and do the right thing to trap your feet, I can break your leg. But then once I break your leg, I can't like scramble back on top of you very well because of the position of my legs. So I feel like the things that are like the ashi or the backside 50-50 or something that's on the way back up, like where you can get up, is that like I'm gonna break something. And then that doesn't mean when you talk about like using the efficiency in a real scenario or something, is that like just because I broke your leg doesn't mean we're done. I just disabled a piece of your body. It's just like an armbar to me in a real fight. Is that like I've seen people fight through crazy stuff. So like
Mm.
maybe breaking their arm doesn't end the fight. It just he doesn't hit me as hard with that other arm because he outweighs me by 100 pounds.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. No, and for sure, really like again, taking it back to whatever, you're down in a fight on like down meaning just on the ground
Yeah,
somehow and someone's
low ground,
over
high
you,
ground.
like
It's
somebody's
played out.
over you, like
Yeah,
and they run up on you somehow. This may be a thing that's what happens. You know what I mean? So there's definitely merit to it. But now, would you want to just be there to start in this
yeah.
scenario? Not very often, where there's randomness of a person even just like falling down on you and like jumping and landing on you, or do they have a
Not
rock?
defending correctly, just going
They
the
got
wrong way.
they got pocket sand. What you don't know.
You got to watch the pocket sand.
I mean,
Yeah,
like people do stuff. Like
yeah,
people are crazy and they want to survive.
they throw a drink
And
at
like
you, or yeah,
yeah, I would.
yeah.
Sorry, and
I
I know
used
how
to
to
say it
fight.
all the I used to say all the time, like playing in football coming up, is that like guys would get in fights, and one they'd like throw their helmet off, and I'm like, first off, that's a piece of protection. Second off, you're punching the other guy in the head with your bare hand into a helmet, doing
Yeah.
nothing. It's like if my helmet's coming off, I'm using it.
So the only
Like,
thing I would say with that is then you take away a little bit of that ability for them to grab your face mask and like control the head.
I'd just break your fingers in my face mask, but like I was crazy.
How?
If you grabbed like, which I had like the like grid face mask or whatever, if you grabbed it when people would be in the line and they would like come in, they would try to grab it. I intentionally, like, when you grabbed it, would then just turn and run. And so now you're here and going with it.
I feel like I could take you down. Well, let's try
Maybe.
this. You got a helmet? You got one of your old helmets?
My neck's all jacked up, but yeah.
Even better.
It wasn't jacked up back then. That
I
might be
wonder why.
why.
And so the origin story gets a little bit originier.
Well, I mean, I had a coach when we first, like, this was in like high school, like young, like whatever it is, that he'd tell us that when you'd hit, you'd throw an uppercut to where your hand came in and hit them like right there in the soft part of their jaw, and then you'd have your hand facing you so you could hook it inside their chin strap, and then now you grab their chin strap and turned it, and you kept your hand in front of you so the refs couldn't see it, and then you would turn them, and then as they would fall, you'd let go and throw it, and it would look like you just did a swim move. Literally taught us
I would.
how to face mask without face masking, but it was that early lesson of like
That's
where
the
the head
game.
goes,
Yeah,
body follows.
it's truth. That's
It was
facts.
always awkward when the chin strap would break off, and then you're standing there with a chin strap in your hand, looking at the ref like this.
No,
Nothing.
he took that off.
I had that when I got out here,
He did that.
but you give athletes rules, they're gonna find every single way that they can to beat the game.
Yeah, I mean, it happens all the time, man, and it happens in everything down to anything that gets competitive. Really, even just to tie it into live thing that's going on, like with the little league stuff, the baseball, softball stuff, or whatever. There's lots of scenarios like that where people are hyper competitive or whatever it is, or there's ways to kind of it's not illegal, it's
Right.
not against the rules, or whatever kind of stuff, and it's like
Whoa.
I get that, and then I end up having the same like conversation that we kind of have about stuff. It's like, but it's not in the spirit
Yeah.
of the rule or the spirit of the thing, and people are like, okay, like Socrates, get your bitch ass over there and like let us win.
We're trying to win. Screw your philosophy.
It's like, all right, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
run it.
Yeah.
Just go ahead. I'm down. We'll make those children cry. Let's go. F me for having some sort of a conscience.
It's just a kids' t-ball game. All right.
Nah, but
Go
it's
Vikings.
there's parts of it. There's things, and again, there's things, and it's weird too because sometimes it's like uh, the stuff is wrong. or like the call or whatever that
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
referee, and this happens in jiu-jitsu or whatever events, any
Every
sporting,
sport.
it is wrong. And then is it intentional? I don't know. Is it consistent? That's the biggest kind of thing. Is if the calls are consistent, then that's kind of what you just got to deal with on that day. You can go to whoever the organizers are or whatever and state your case, but very often nothing's changing that day, you know. And people they say that the MMA events or whatever too, they're like, hey, if there's an issue with stuff and what yada yada yada, don't come right now thinking that we can do it, but you can protest things and take it up to the thing, but very often nothing happens. You just get heard, and that's the best that you can kind of hope for. But often people want like a remedy in the moment, and there is no remedy that'll be correct in this moment, especially if it was some sort of a judgment type call. If it's something that's
Yeah,
obvious, like a infract, it's like, hey, that was, there had to be some sort of reprimand or whatever in that way. But otherwise, it's like, I mean, it's judgment, and that's what they judged. And then hopefully you don't turn them against you because now they may judge the other way a lot more. But
which that's a weird thing in
that's the
sports
whole
of
thing too.
judgment, of just like subjectivity. I mean, our sport is like pure subjectivity, and all we're doing sometimes it feels like that people are trying to remove all subjectivity, and they just create a even bigger, more
Yeah.
subjectivity.
Yeah, and that's what I say. Like this weekend, some stuff like with the tournament that our boys played in or whatever, there were some calls that were pretty consistently like bad, but they were consistently bad, at least for the most part in that way.
Yeah,
And I was just kind of shrugging my shoulders and trying to model in a way the behavior I would want that I want Thomas to start getting because he's dealing with a lot of that stuff too, trying to learn how to compete at a higher level
mm,
uh, and not be unserious, and then also how to not do it and then be too serious.
yeah,
Getting all
yeah,
too frustrated. It's like
yeah.
there's a fine line between this or whatever.
Realize how
Um,
much of it doesn't matter, and that you can just
or just the appropriate things to be what way
upset.
about. Like there's things that it's like it's okay to care a lot, but also some things are outside of your control and there's nothing you can do about it. And then if you go try to do
Yeah.
something about it, it's just going to make it worse in a way, you
Well,
know.
the only thing you can do about it is that when you talk about like, all right, if you're talking about greatness and you're talking about somebody who wants to be like the greatest, we talk about all the time on the show, and we've had this conversation plenty of times in private. The fact that like that don't come free,
Yeah.
and so it's like, all right, well, if you're gonna be at that level and that's what you're going for, well, then when that type of stuff happens, one, you got to realize that the amount of repetitions that you need at high level competition to be somebody like that, it's gonna happen all the time. And like you said,
Mhm.
there ain't nothing you can do about it. But what you can
Yeah.
do is make yourself undeniable. And if you're trying to be undeniable, well, then the times that that type of stuff happens, and it's outside your control, and then you can just go, fucking rest and move on.
If you competed a lot, you get it
Yeah,
because you had to go through it. That's the thing. But people who haven't competed a lot, they don't quite understand that part of the process as much because you're gonna lose a lot,
yeah.
and if you're only winning, then that's gonna run out eventually, and then it seems like the rebound's a lot harder for
When you
that than
finally
it is people
lose,
who struggled a lot early and figured out how to break through. Um,
that's why like I
so I like
am
the struggle parts of it. At least
yeah,
I don't like it. It's uncomfortable, right? It's
it's
very
real.
uncomfortable, and sitting with it and trying to explain it in a way that's like honest, but also like compassionate and things like that. It's tough. It's nobody really likes to lose, and then if you're the one that made the mistake you feel like is the thing that cost whatever, then it's like yeah, that's it's understandable,
Imagine
but
imagine what it feels like to
it
be the
happens.
guy that has never lost.
I don't know what that's like.
But like ultimately, like think about it. Like
It'd be crazy.
that's gotta be a terrifying existence. You don't know what it's like. You have no
Yeah,
idea.
I mean, yeah, and that's the thing. You got to go through it as much as possible to kind of build up that callus for the experiences, and the higher level it gets, unfortunately, it just gets harder. That's the thing. As you get better with things, it typically gets harder. It doesn't really get easier the way that we expect a lot of times.
That's
If
why
you want
everybody
to achieve,
retires.
yeah, and time, catches up on things or whatever.
Everybody. Yeah.
Interest wanes in certain things or whatever too. But yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. Well, we've been rambling here for about 55 minutes or so.
I don't think
It
it's been
feels good
rambling.
though.
I think it's been a great show.
It feels good. It feels good. Just don't want to
It's
go
been
too
a
long. I
good
got
show.
stuff to kind of
You're
go
good.
do. There's
Well,
one thing I want to see if I could share my screen,
what'd you want? Oh
or maybe
Lord.
how do I
Right.
do that?
You should be able to down there in the bottom. Do you have the option right there
Yep.
to your right?
I
It
just
says
click it.
present.
There we go.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna add it to the stage. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on.
You re-
My sound's not on. Maybe this is gonna be crazy. I don't know what the sound's gonna be like. Hold on. Let me turn it back in there. You ready?
yeah. Are
Oh
you
no.
adding it?
You hear it?
I'll add it to the stage.
Okay. Yeah. I thought you would have to do that. Can you hear it?
I don't.
grapplers out there
Oh, there we
looking
go. Hold
to
on.
I hear it now.
showcase your skills.
All right.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Professor Ultrazoid. I'm super excited to make this announcement. Guess what? There's going to be a Professor Ultrazoid Invitational for all the youth grapplers out there looking to showcase your skills and perform at the highest level. If you want to be a part of this, we're going to have an open, but we're also going to have an invitational. It's going to be on the same weekend as the ADCC Open here in beautiful sunny San Diego. So if you want to come, be a part of these events, make sure you get a hold of me and be a part of this grand event. You don't want to miss out. All the talented youth grapplers out there, make sure you get a hold of me so you can make it happen. Let's go!
That's a cool little
Okay. That was one
character
thing.
he's
But
created.
yes, have you seen all these?
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to play some more for the people.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Professor Ultrazoid. I got some good drills for you and your partner. These are called buddy warm-ups, right? So we're gonna grab a buddy, we're gonna get together, we're gonna get some good warm-ups. The best thing to do is to get a good sweat, give it 100%, and don't give up. Keep going all the way through, and let's have fun while we're doing it. Let's go!
I think the character is really funny. Hold on, let me see. Where's one? There's another one that I thought was pretty good. There's a few of them that are pretty good, but like here, he does a different voice.
Let me tell you something, kid. The Ultrazoid never quits, never doubts, and never stops believing. Let me tell you something, kid.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Professor Ultrazoid. I'm back with another block workout. This is gonna test your core, and it's gonna also make your core a lot stronger. What we're gonna do, we're gonna get one block, we're gonna get two people, we're gonna pass the block back and forth. Alright? Get a block, get your partner, and let's have fun. Ready? Let's go!
Okay, I just wanted
All
to
right.
share that. I thought that was pretty cool. That's pretty
And that
funny.
was-
character, I didn't know.
What's he call it?
Professor Ultrazoid.
Ultrazoid. That's it. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's a cool character. I don't know. I feel like that's
Yeah.
something we should promote a little bit there for my buddy, but also it's good, funny stuff, and he's got good drills. He's always leaned into the kids stuff a lot anyway out there. So he's been doing it for a while. I'm sure that'd be some really good content for people who might be interested in fun stuff to do with kids. And I don't know. I like the character. I think that's good stuff, Gio. If you happen to see that, everybody else, buy my stuff. Okay, I'm a struggling artist at this point. I'm not a fighter anymore. Fighting for my life.
Anybody can start the bid whenever they want. Find you on the Dream
You can get this
Tempe.
poster with a big, nice, personalized signature on there, and then the 15 other ones or whatever for one quality rate of whatever you want to give. That's fair. That's the way we want to do it. We can't come up with a price or whatever. They're like $20 a piece or something, I bet, easily, just like in what it costs to make them and different things like that. So it's not a small thing. This would fill up a room of some PGF fan.
All right. Well,
I'd send you a foot pic. Bye.
whoa.